The father of Clayton Dillard III, the same man we spoke with yesterday, was escorted out of Monday's press conference as he pled for justice.
That is the pain that affects our community right there, right before you. That's why together, all of us, we must work harder to bring justice to these families who are crying as you hear right now.
I feel this dad so much, man. And salute to everybody. Hope you guys all had a very wonderful Memorial Day. I was down at Anacostia Park with my wife and my kid. If you can't feel this brother, if you can't look at this brother and be like, damn, man. If you can't feel this brother, something wrong with you, man. You don't love black people. And make sure you subscribe to this channel because we cover this every day, not just when the big mainstream media picks it up. This happens every day and we cover it every day here. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because we cover this every day. The ones that they don't even talk about on the mainstream news because it's just tiresome. Like, just subscribe to the channel. And you'll be like, damn, I ain't know all that shit. Man, trust me, Jack. This happens every day. Somewhere in the black community of the United States. But I feel this father, man. He said, burn in hell. Not, I'm going to pray for you. Not, I forgive you. No. Burn in hell, you bastards, for spraying up a crowd of 100 people. Just because you had a problem with, it didn't even probably hit anybody you had a problem with. Just, somebody there you had a problem with, so you're going to spray a whole crowd of 100 people. And hit 25 of them and kill 2 of them. And because you're not white, you still on the streets. If you was white, it'd be an all points bulletin out. APB, U.S. Marshals with dogs hunting down the scent. But since you black, there's another shooting. Community, we need the community's help. We need the community to help us. If you have any tips, call 1-800-TIP. This is a white man. His face would be on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, round the clock coverage. They be breaking into the game, talking about, and we have a special report. You know how they remember? I don't know if they do that, but back when I was a kid, back in the 80s, they would cut into the game for a special report. Who remember those days? Who old enough to remember those days? They will cut into the game. We're intervening in the game for a special report. The white guy shot 25 people at a club, and he ain't in custody. There's a group of 3 white guys. Where they at? This Blackistan, man, they just like, man, look, if you people in the community, if you know who did this, call us. Shit crazy.
A father seeking answers.
You all killed my kid. You must burn.
The father of Clayton Dillard III, the same man we spoke with yesterday, was escorted out of Monday's press conference as he pled for justice.
That is the pain that affects our community right there, right before you. That's why together, all of us, we must work harder to bring justice to these families who are crying as you hear right now.
As investigators dig for answers, they are also pushing for solutions, announcing investments as they commit to curb and stop gun violence so no other family will be in grief.
We will bring justice. Our community is united.
Caroline Coles for WPBF 25 News.
Miami-Dade County. At all, I want the nation to know that.
Local law enforcement and leaders calling the mass shooting domestic terrorism.
That's an important step. Salute to them for that. the way they're framing this as domestic terrorism, it gives them an ability to punish these crimes more severely and use different agencies to go after the criminals. Now, it's not legally domestic terrorism, but at least they're calling it that. Anytime 3 dudes pull up in front of a club, in front of a crowd of 100 people, that they don't know who's in that crowd, and they just spray it, that's domestic terrorism. And I'm sorry I'm not thug enough and street enough for you to be like, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying, man? That's how it be, man. Nah, I ain't. Sorry, I ain't that dude. That's domestic terrorism.
Local law enforcement and leaders calling the mass shooting domestic terrorism, vowing to find those responsible. Good afternoon, I'm Francis Wang. Families and friends devastated after this weekend's deadly mass shooting. Police hope brand new surveillance video and a hefty cash award will help them make arrests. CBS 4's Ted Scowen is live outside the Miami-Dade Police Department in Doral with the latest. Ted?
Yeah, Francis, police are turning up the heat on these 3 gunmen who are accused of opening fire into a crowd of people early Sunday morning. And today, we're actually getting our first look at the 3 actual gunmen as well as the vehicle that they were in. Now, all of this has been very devastating for families who lost loved ones. As a matter of fact, some of that grief unfolding right in front of us.
Ruining families, harming mothers who are here today.
You all killed my kid. You must burn. You must burn. You hear me?
The father of one of the people murdered early Sunday morning outside El Mula Banquet Hall crashes a news conference by Miami-Dade police.
And that's the pain that you see. That is the pain that affects our community right there, right before you.
Police confirm his son was one of the victims who was killed. We're now seeing surveillance video of a white Nissan Pathfinder. We see 3 men get out heavily armed. Moments later, they get back in and the SUV races away. This is when more than 100 shots were fired.
That a white Nissan Pathfinder approached the side of the entrance. 3 individuals exited that Pathfinder armed and opened fire on the crowd. Several groups that were in the parking lot also armed themselves and opened fire towards the initial shooters.
In all, 23 people were shot, 2 dead, 3 remain in critical condition, 3 were released, and the rest remain in the hospital. This happened at an album release party for rapper Spitta. Also performing was Fopak. Police are now looking at a possible motive.
We have intelligence information that this resulted from an ongoing rivalry from 2 different groups. We know that our intended target was most likely in front of the establishment when the shooting took place.
This is the car. These are the guys police are looking for. So far, they've gotten some tips, but they need many more.
I'm very thankful for this community who has been providing information to bring justice to these murderers, these gun violence-driven murderers.
Now, there is a huge reward in this case. It's up to $130,000. If you have information that can help investigators and they want to hear from you, give Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers a call. That number is 305-471-TIPS. Live in Doral, Ted Scowen, CBS 4 News.
And breaking overnight, 4 teenagers shot in the South Shore neighborhood.
This comes as Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot pushes plans for a safe summer in Chicago. CBS 2's Mugo Digwe is live along the lakefront with what we've learned from investigators about this shooting. Mugo?
Good morning. So this shooting was in the South Shore neighborhood, which just happens to be one of the areas the city says it plans to flood with resources in order to reduce gun violence.
Resources? Let me fix that for you. Cops, vice squads, gang units, cameras, lights, helicopters, okay? Because they want to play the whole defund the police, we wokety woke crap. And then now that crime is completely out of control, they want to start calling cops resources. No. Cops.
Good morning. So this shooting was in the South Shore neighborhood, which just happens to be one of the areas the city says it plans to flood with resources in order to reduce gun violence this summer. Here's a look at the scene. You can see an evidence marker on top of a shell casing on the ground there. This happened around 9:43 last night. Police say the victims, all males ranging in age from 19 to 17, were in the parking lot of the subway on 67th and Stony Island when someone in a dark sedan started shooting at them. As of Sunday night, they are some of the at least 24 people shot in Chicago this Memorial Day weekend. This, as the city says, it's trying something new this year, bringing in libraries, the Park District, Chicago Public School District, and even the Department of Public Health to help reduce crime.
So the discussions have been, okay, if you look at this block, who lives there? Who are the community stakeholders? How can we engage them? How many young people live in that area? Are they connected up with meaningful activities?
Sorry, man, you already exposed what you're really gonna do. You're gonna put a bunch of cops down there, so you can get in front of the media and talk about community stakeholders and activities and libraries. We already know. They already told us what you're gonna do. Put more cops down here, man. Chicago Savage ain't gonna be like, hey, man, you know them dudes rode on us last week and killed T-Bone. But the man set up some activities at the library this weekend. So let's go and let that ride, man. Let it go. R.I.P. T-Bone. But let's honor him through literature. Let's book bang. Let's read on our rivals.
So the discussions have been, okay, if you look at this block, who lives there? Who are the community stakeholders? How can we engage them? How many young people live in that area? Are they connected up with meaningful activities?
As for last night's shooting, police say all 4 victims are in good condition, but they are still searching for the shooter involved. We're live along the lakefront. Mugo Digwe, CBS 2 News.
A shift in police resources tonight in downtown St. Louis, and investigators have more information about the suspects wanted in a violent incident involving a patrol car. Fox 2's Jeff Bernthal is live with a look tonight at those changes. Jeff.
Yeah, the public safety plan's always adjusting to try to meet the current needs. Some of those adjustments include closing down streets at times, like Washington Avenue here tonight. And as these changes unfold at a time when it is jacket weather, it's actually a summer safety plan that's begun. This incident involving a crowd.
Send me the video. I need it. Send me the video. White kids jumping on a police car in a white neighborhood. There's 200 million white people. There's only 40 million black people in this country. There's 200 million white people. There are far more white neighborhoods. There's far more poor white people than black people. There's more poor white people in America than there are black people total. We've already, sorry if you're new to the channel, we've already proven that. It's no discussion. There's more poor white people in America than there are total black people. Send me the video of this. White people, white community. Send me that video, because I wanna make a video of it. I want to. You guys know that. I search for those stories. So send it to me.
This incident involving a crowd jumping on a police car last week sparked outrage. Investigators are looking for the individuals involved, and on Friday released these images of suspects wanted for damaging the vehicle after police responded to disband a crowd.
There's certainly a lot of videos that were on social media before we even started our investigation, but we have detectives that are working to identify those individuals to ensure that, they are brought to justice.
Mayor Tashara Jones recently announced public safety plans ahead of Memorial Day, including a summer cruising detail and a summer violence detail.
Everywhere you look, there's a sister destroying a city. Everywhere you look. There's a Khadijah defunding the police. And if you saw the video I did on this woman a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, her entire plan is to defund the police in the most violent city in the country. And she's going ahead with it. She hasn't like said, oh, you know what, let me reassess the situation. She's going full steam ahead with defund the police. So even her, she got to be like, look, we got to curb this, man. We got to do something, man. I'm going to still defund the police, but we gonna try something to just immediate for the summertime. We'll go back to defunding the police in the fall. You niggas don't know how to act in summertime, man.
Mayor Tashara Jones recently announced public safety plans ahead of Memorial Day, including a summer cruising detail and a summer violence detail. Police say street closures, officers assigned to specific locations, and enforcement efforts involving both plainclothes and uniformed officers are all part of the plan.
Plainclothes officers. That's the unit that they got rid of in New York, that destroyed New York City. Boy, those black leaders up in New York, they was pissed when they got rid of, because that plainclothes unit, let me tell y'all something. Let me coon for a second. That plainclothes unit, it keep thugs on their toes. Because you got a lot of things that go on that a lot of people don't know. That you go to work every day, you go to work, and then you come home, and then you take your kids to the mall on the weekend. You're not living in the world. Knockout game, street robberies, broad daylight, shootings, just street harassment, carjackings, things that squares like the people that probably watch this channel wouldn't know, because it happens on a day because they're at work. You're at work, man. You're not out there. That plainclothes unit keeps thugs on their toes. They don't know who's... Once word gets around, because the streets talk. Man, dude was just wearing a sweatsuit and walked up and locked me up, man. There was a dude in some jeans and a polo shirt. Just came up and just grabbed me after I hit that 70-year-old man upside his head for no reason. And that's what happened in New York. That's why crime was so low in New York, because that plainclothes unit. Once they got rid of that plainclothes unit, it was 600 men in New York. Crime skyrocketed. And then now they're bringing a plainclothes unit to St. Louis. And she ran on defund the police. Now she's bringing a unit that a violent, dangerous city like New York got rid of. Because George Floyd. Not because of anything that happened in their city. They got rid of it because of George Floyd. But this woman, this Tashara Jones woman, ran on defund the police. And now she's bringing plainclothes cops to St. Louis. And I'm telling you, man, them thugs on the street, them criminals that's out there harming people and taking stuff from people and robbing people and all types of stuff, and they gonna be in for a huge surprise, because that's a game changer. It's one thing to see the beat cops, you see the cops, the cops just went that way, all right, we cool. Well, look around, you see any cops? No, I don't see no cops. Now they can't do that.
Police say street closures, officers assigned to specific locations, and enforcement efforts involving both plainclothes and uniformed officers are all part of the plan.
We are prepared to keep people safe. We are working every day to change things and make sure that we're doing the right things to keep everybody safe.
We spoke with several downtown residents and frequent visitors who believe last week's incident is not a reflection of life downtown.
I don't believe that was anything indicative of the nightlife atmosphere in downtown as a whole. Washington Avenue has always been an entertainment hotspot and hub.
It's safe, it's walkable. I've only had a couple instances where, I was worried about me and my wife's safety, but all in all, it's real safe down here.
Love it. Newsflash, cracker. If you've had a couple of incidents where you've had to fear for you and your wife's safety, that place don't be's safe, Jack. Okay? I've only had a couple of incidents where I feared for me and my wife. What? In an entertainment district? Like, this ain't like where you live at. This just where you go on the weekend. You might catch a movie or go out to eat or something and take your butt back home, and then you tell, I've only had a couple of he woke. See, this is the woke white people that get on the news and they tell you the truth, but you gotta be able to decipher it. He's crying out, but he don't want to lose his job. He don't want to get doxxed. He don't want people calling the manager of his building trying to get him put out the building, because Black Lives Matter, they do stuff like that. They get you. They call people you work with. They'll go online on your LinkedIn and find out who your business partners with. Get people not to do business with you if you say the wrong thing. So these white folk are scared. Don't worry, cracker. Our nation is here to decipher your hidden message.
It's safe, it's walkable. I've only had a couple instances where, I was worried about me and my wife's safety, but all in all, it's real safe down here.
Love the ability to just walk to the coffee shop, walk to the to get our dry cleaning done, walk to get some food, walk to get a drink, walk to get some groceries. It's a great thing. We almost never use our car.
And coming up all new on Fox 2 News at 10, a look at some of this public safety plan details that go beyond downtown. Reporting live from downtown West, Jeff Bernthal, Fox 2 News.